Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem El Shai, Ba'ashem Kwakadash, double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Grimstone Rowell, and to the Akim Agrath, throughout the four corners of the earth, holding on to the testament of our Lord and Mashiach Yahushua in sincerity and truth in these dark and difficult days and times. This brother Menasher, DC Camp, short lesson for the hopeful elect. Yeah, so this so-called cartoonist rendition of America's image is just, I say, it's more than 1,000 words, all right? And you just have to wonder that the precepts always flow when you see these things happen, man, all right? So it just shows you that, we're getting closer and closer, to the kingdom of Yahweh Shim Shai. And it's either might see it, man. They see the smoke screen that the so-called politicians are trying to push upon the people. They see the angles that the media are trying to use to narrate the story to keep the people's mind in that so-called two-party mindset, man. This so-called Republican and Democrat, agenda. It's ping pong. I call it the ping pong Olympics. It just keeps going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Same old team. All right. The trophy goes to the team this year. Next year it goes to the other teams. Like the same old rivalry. It's like the Army versus Navy. So that's what it's looking like, man. All right. So you just see that in the news, they just want to push agendas to keep our people's mind locked up in an illusion, all right, and have them distracted. And you see that, just focus on the so-called Capitol Hill riots that happened in January 6th last year. Then, you have the things that are worrying the people that they haven't really addressed because these so-called politicians, they entrenched, in that swamp, man. They're stuck in that game of the elites to manipulate the people. So you got the Afghan disaster, you got inflation, baby formula shortage, high cost of living, high fuel prices, high crime, open border disaster, division, and hate. So this is exactly what that whole list is what they want people to ignore. All right, and when they bring it to the forefront, they just want it to be an instrument for them to manipulate the people. All right, so you don't fall for that stuff no more. All right. So a precept I'd like to bring out would be from the book of Proverbs, all right? Proverbs chapter 14, verse 15. It says, the simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. Okay? So that's why you have to be aware of current events, man. You have to pay attention to the economy, pay attention to geopolitics, what's going on in the field of science, what's going on Wall Street, what's going on in your neighborhood with the so-called local government, the state government, what's really happening, what's really happening according to prophecy. So you have to be aware of those things, That's why Proverbs chapter 14 verse 15 says, the simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. So you have to be circumspect in this truth, and you have to figure out what's important for you all right, to devote your focus to, all right, and you figure out at the end of the day that what is necessary for your salvation to come true, you have to know, all right. You have to know exactly the obstacles you're going to be facing. So you have the lists of all this, man. You have famine, you have violence, you have rumors of wars and all that stuff. The economy going down the drain. That's basically what that list says, man. So just remember, man, it's a whole game of trickery. And the book of Second Timothy tells you this in chapter 2. Start from verse 3. Okay. It says, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua HaMashiach. And that's words of encouragement. You have to endure the difficulty of living in captivity, man. When you see all these obstacles being placed in front of you, you have to be spiritual of how you're going to approach it, all right? And then it says, no man that worreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who had chosen him to be a soldier, all right? So you have to know what's going on in the world, man, and how to wiggle around these situations, man. Inflation, war and rumors of wars, famines, the grinding season, the debasing of the currency, the shortage and all that stuff of resources. And then you got violence, you got civil disobedience, you got civil war, you got World War III. You just got unease throughout the whole world, and that you have to know exactly how to maneuver through those situations, man. Because if you keep on focusing on all these problems without having a spiritual foundation, you're gonna end up being consumed by your worries, all right? So that's why you have to learn to detach yourself, man, from the agenda. Otherwise, you're going to make yourself a prey. So the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10, mentions that you have to do this. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you with a sore destruction. So that's, words of wisdom, all right? You don't want to be consumed by the cares of this world, so you have to learn to eliminate, if at best, manage that situation. Okay, so you have to seek wisdom to operate in these days and times. And all this, I'm looking for for nutritious meals in the grocery store at a time of famine. That's going to be a tough thing to focus on, man. A lot of people in this world don't understand that the Lord is about to make a huge change, and these things have to happen, all right? So Matthew chapter 13, verse 22, it says this: He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. So you have to understand, man. You don't want to lose ground in this word of the Lord, all right? You do not want the word of the Lord to be of none effect, all right, in your life. So you have to neglect, I say it's downgrade, the things that the people of this world are concerned about, man. They're so infatuated with their salaries and wages and investments. They're so attached to it. Gold and silver are basically resources that you use to as a hedge against an unstable economy. All right, so you don't let that be your foundation. The word of the Lord is your foundation. All right, so you cannot build your foundation upon an economy that is shifty, is unstable, subject to corruption, subject to extortion. Right, so you have to build a spiritual house, and that's what the Lord Yahushua talked about. A spiritual house, that can withstand the pressure. Okay, so you just have to, man. You just have to deal with it. Okay, and then Matthew chapter 6. You know what? I just go straight to let me go to Sirach quickly. The book of Sirach. Book of Sirach chapter 39. And then it's in 26 and 27. All right, it says the principal things for the whole life of man, for the whole use of man's life. All right, I'll read one more time. Sirach 39 verse 26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil, and clothing. Verse 27. All these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil. All right? So the man of the Lord will know how to use these resources for their benefit, but for the evil-minded of our nation, man, they're going to be consumed with greed and strife and envy, price gouging and all that stuff, So, they're going to end up being consumed, man, by their worldly ambitions, man. All right, so you gotta be focused on your spiritual ambition rather than your worldly ambitions, man. That's order. All right, spiritual before the physical. All right, this worldly madness, man. So when you read Matthew chapter 6 verse 32, this is what Yahweh told his disciples. It says, let's start from verse 31. Therefore, take no thought, saying, What shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or wherewithal shall we be clothed? For all these things do the Gentiles seek for. For your heavenly Father knoweth that ye have need of all these things. All right. So just remember that, man. The heathens of this world, they always want to have a power structure, so they like to use resources to dominate, the weaker nations, and you just have to know, man. That's what know about that. The more resources a nation has, the more of a stronghold they can build on the weaker nations, and make them to bend, towards their will. All right. So that's why you gotta be careful, man. You don't make yourself a victim of your own desire to gather up worldly possessions. Okay. So final precept will be from the book of Proverbs chapter 29, and I will read verse 12. It says, If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked, Yeah, so you just have to deal with this, man. You know, deal with this endless propaganda, endless stream of lies, man. You know, so you just have to put up a barrier, man, and let it go. You know, you can't keep on getting sucked in to the left versus right agenda, man. Just let them keep on playing their game while you're busy, preparing for the Lord to tear down their show, man. You know, all this political theater has to come to an end. So that's what you need to look forward to, man. An end to all this charade, and you don't want to get caught up in it, man. You know, you can't really debate this with the people of this world on the plantation because they don't really get it. They get a piece of it, but they don't get the whole picture. So you just stay focused on what's more important, man, which is the word of the Lord. All right, because you're gonna need it more, man. You're gonna need it more than baby formula. You're gonna need it more than gold and silver, tourniquets. You know, more than a bottle of water. The word of the Lord is what you're gonna have to rely on in these last days. So that's the point that I can Abaratazar, the Lord will keep our minds sharp and keep us focused. Shalom.